When I got my mission call, the letter said the California San Bernardino Mission. That's in Southern California, a couple hours east of LA. I was originally at the San Bernardino Mission. Later on, like I said, they created a bunch of new missions, and one of those was the Redlands Mission. The Redlands Mission was created in June 2013, so I was about 8 months into my mission. And so I spent most of my mission in the Redlands Mission. And so there's actually a temple in Redlands. It's a really pretty temple. It's smaller than most of the temples in Utah, or some of the bigger temples. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's a beautiful temple. There are palm trees everywhere, mountains. I didn't expect it to be as mountainous as it was. And then a good part of the mission actually is in the desert. So there's Redlands, which is in the San Bernardino Valley. Then once you keep going further east, it gets more and more deserty as you go. And I spent most of my mission out in the desert, in the communities of Palm Desert, Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs. And it's sandy, brown desert, although the resort community of Palm Desert has, these lush golf courses, and it's like a golf course retirement community basically, so it's a pretty nice place. But yeah, I really liked it. Most people say that Redlands, San Bernardino area is the ugly part of California. I guess I wouldn't know any better because I haven't been to any other parts. But I think it's a beautiful place, and just by virtue of serving there and being there so long, you become more attached to it. So interesting fact, actually, San Bernardino was founded by Mormon settlers. When Brigham Young took everybody to Salt Lake, some people went down to California and formed a little colony thing in San Bernardino. So it was originally founded by Mormons, and then there was a point in time where Brigham Young tried to call everybody back to Utah. So most of the people went back to Utah, and so San Bernardino kind of went on in its own path. But yeah, so kind of interesting history there. It was founded by Mormons. In the first mission I was in, the San Bernardino mission, we went every other transfer, so about once every 3 months or so. And we would go through an endowment session in the temple. Later on when the new mission president came, the new mission was formed, we went a little bit less frequently. We would just go basically whenever they would announce one, so I went a few more times. But yeah, we would just go through and do a session. And I guess the most meaningful temple experience for me on my mission was before you go home, there's a special departing missionary temple trip, where all the missionaries who are leaving that transfer go through the temple with the mission president. And so I went through with my mission president, President Van Cott, and I just remember that it was a very meaningful experience for me because I was towards the end of my mission. I was going to be going home in a week or so, and I was just wanting to know if the Lord accepted the sacrifice that I had made. And so I was praying in the celestial room and praying to know if the Lord accepted my sacrifice. And basically right as I finished the prayer, my mission president came up to me and gave me a hug, and he just said, "We really appreciate all your work and all you've done here." So that was a meaningful experience for me. And so there are 7 stakes in the Redlands mission: San Bernardino, Rialto, Fontana, Yucaipa, Yucca Valley, Palm Desert, Redlands, obviously. There are 7 stakes, and every stake is its own. Typically every stake is its own zone, although that mixes up from time to time, but that doesn't really matter. So usually there are missionaries in wards. In my experience, there are usually at least 2 sets of missionaries per ward. Spanish-speaking missionaries are only assigned to Spanish-speaking wards and branches, which are usually bigger. So the Spanish wards overlap over the English wards. So we have an English ward and maybe another English ward, and the Spanish ward will cover both of those too. Yeah, usually 2 to 3 sets of missionaries per ward or branch.